YouTube. Hi, my name is Mark, and this is Nixon Motorsports. This channel is all about motorsports, from racing to exotic cars and even simulators. Today we're going to do a simple upgrade to our steering assembly. We're going to put a wireless spa hub in place. So come on, let me show you what we're doing. So let me pan over here and just show you what this thing is first, right? So I called it a wireless assembly. It's really not wireless. What I'm doing is I'm putting this special spa hub in place that actually takes your curly wire assembly, right, cord from your steering wheel off, so your steering wheel becomes completely detachable, and the wires actually go through the hub itself. Pretty cool stuff. And if I pan down here and look at this, so here's the spa hub. Doesn't look too exciting, doesn't look that special, right? The difference with this versus other spa hubs is this piece of wiring, and if you can see, these pins actually go inside the hub itself. And so you use one end of it like so, and doubt if you can see in here with the lighting. Let me spin around. Yeah, you can't really see, but basically when you attach your steering wheel onto your hub end, which is like this, the spline, pins are inside the spline and inside the hub, and thus you don't have any curly cord from your steering wheel. Let me show you what I'm talking about on that end. If I pan over here and just show you, so the car's a mess at the moment, everything's apart, but as I show you my current steering wheel, you can see that big old dangly cord from the steering wheel itself, right? That's pretty normal. A lot of people do that. That's what I'm talking about. That curly cord is going to be removed. So let me just bring you along and show you how to do this. Pretty simple for the most part. A little bit of wiring, a little bit of welding, and so on. So let's get with the rest of it. Come on. So as I roll into the car, I want to show you what I'm going to have to do. So here's my current spline steering shaft. This one, of course, does not have the special wiring through it. You can see my universal joint, my shaft. This is the string pot for the steering position, and all the way down into the rack itself, right? So I'm going to have to pull this out, and I need to make sure in the bearings here that my clearances for the new shaft that I had built are actually going to work right. So let's do that first. Let's see what this does. So a quick little update. I have the shaft, the new shaft, in the car. I've not wired it yet, but I want to just show you, roll down here so you can see what it looks like. Looks very similar, of course, to the other one. You still have the coupler here. This is the new shaft that's installed. I still have my old curly cord on here. I haven't done any of the work yet for the steering wheel, but you can see coming out of the shaft is a loom of wires. No heat shrink, no termination, no nothing on these yet. But basically that's how this works. This loom of wiring will ultimately connect to the I/O itself that the steering wheel has, and then in the steering wheel hub will be this device that ultimately, if I can grab it here, that ultimately will provide the interface into the steering wheel. So the steering wheel will mount here, and this is the wiring that will actually need to be modified inside the steering wheel itself. Okay. Anyway, just a quick update. Let me keep going on this thing, and I'll bring you back in a bit. Okay. So I have the steering wheel, the wireless hub. Again, non-curly cord, right, hub. Let me point down, I keep saying that, right? So non-curly cord. So this, as an example, is the curly cord that used to be on my steering wheel. So let me go over here to the steering wheel. You can see it. Most guys will relate to that, right? Most race cars, not all, but most, you know, the steering wheel has a big wired curly cord connector that actually takes your I/O from your steering wheel and feeds it into your system, right? So I talked about that before and while I'm doing this, but I got all this in the car, and I just want to show you what this looks like a little bit. So let me scroll over here. So here's the steering wheel now itself, okay? And if I just pull it off like this, I can bring it over here and show it to you. So it's kind of nice. Have a completely detachable steering wheel. Keep it nice and tidy around your display, your I/O that you need. You know, so for an example, this wheel has paddle shifting. So you have to have paddle shift I/O. You have radio. You have a couple different I/O buttons that are programmable, and then of course CAN communication for all your display and everything else. So it makes it quite nice and tidy. If I roll over here to the car, you know, so that big curly cord that I showed you, look, it actually just feeds, and now in this case I just bring that up to a 12-pin DTM connector. That's where I mate with the I/O for the car itself. That feeds into the shaft itself. Remember, the shaft has ultimately pins here. You probably can't see it, but in the inside, yeah, you can kind of see that. See those pins? Those are the connection point pins that mate to the steering wheel. So if I look inside the steering wheel, see those pins inside there? Pretty cool, right? So I'm going to show you a few parts for anyone out there who wants to do this to their race car. It's not too difficult. You do need a couple parts. You'll have to more than likely fabricate or find a shaft that's hollow that you can feed your wire loom through for that steering connection. And I've actually fabricated mine. Actually, I had them CNC'd. And so let me show you what it looks like. This is what I did. So stainless material, you can see it's hollow, and here at the end it opens up so you can actually feed the loom through there. And in my race car, this is on the upper bearing strut for the steering wheel itself, right? So that's what I've done, and then I tapered this one end so I can slip on a nice helm joint, and I drill that, I don't weld that. And on the other end, this is where you would actually slide in the spline that comes with the spa assembly. It, you know, kind of looks like this is all boogered up, this shaft, but you know, it's a spline that looks sort of like that. Anyway, you'll need to do that and then weld that together for your assembly. And anyway, you know, speaking of this part itself, you know, if you don't have access to fabricating such a device, you know, let me know. I could sell these to you. This is a 7/8 shaft. Let me go down and double check. Yeah, so this is a 7/8 OD shaft, again stainless, and you know, I can make that any length. If you need help with this, just let me know. Reach out to me through comments. Outside of that, you'll need to purchase. I use the SPA hub itself. You can get these in 12-pin or I think 8 or 12-pin, if I recall, connector and an appropriate wiring loom. So you'll need that. You'll need to get a couple different or new helm joints. I picked up just some nice stainless tube for my steering shaft itself. And you know, you have to do a little bit of fabricating. If I can hold this So, you know, on one end, this slides right in to that hub. And on the other end, if I can move my camera around, you know, so here's the spline, at least for my steering rack assembly, that just slides onto this shaft. And, you know, you would have to actually weld it in place, okay? So, anyway, I hope that helps. The wireless approach for the steering wheel, I think, is it's worth the time and energy and effort. You do it once, and you know, you don't have to go back and screw around with it. It does allow you to have or remove that dangly cord that, at least for me, would drive me crazy around your, you know, your lap or your legs in the race car. So that's what's involved. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. The Spa Hub, it's actually a very cool device. I've used this now on a few different cars. Not too difficult to put in, takes a few minutes of time, right? And it's just one of those things, like myself, when I did the new steering rack last season, I intended to do it then, I just ran out of time. So it's just one of those things. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed, if you would consider doing so, that'd be cool. We have a lot of videos queued up, and that's it for now. So we will talk to you later. Bye.